Hey, Vanessa,
Yes.
You said Zamir lives with you.
Yes, he does.
Does Charmaine live with you as well?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Have you been able to see Erice, be able to visit with him over the last couple of years?
Yes, we've taken Zamir to see his father, yes, in jail.
What are your observations of Erice and Zamir?
Well, Erice smiles, the baby smiles. He does his ABCs and 1, 2, 3 is what Erice does with the baby, and Zamir repeats them. It's usually a happy little session, or as happy as possible anyway, behind bars.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Eisenhower?
No questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am, very much. You can step down. Watch your step, please. Defense call our next witness, please.
Defense would call Maryanne Brown.
Maryanne Brown. Ms. Brown, thanks for bearing with us. If you'll come right up here, one of these nice ladies here will place you under oath. Watch the wires there, please.
Do you swear upon the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Watch stepping in, please.
Step out of the way. What's your step?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Maryanne Brown, B-R-O-W-N.
Ms. Brown, how are you employed?
I'm a licensed practical nurse at a pediatric facility. The name is Patches PPAC in Fort Pierce,
And where do you live?
Jupiter, Florida.
And what's the name of the community there?
Limestone Creek Community.
And do you know Eriese Tisdale?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Erice?
Erice grew up in the community when he was a young man. His mother and himself and my family, we were very active in the community. He played with my children, and he was at my house quite often.
How many children do you have?
I have 3.
Okay. And what are their ages?
20, oh, I gotta remember, 24, they just had birthdays, 24, 22, and 19.
And were any of your children friends with Erice?
Yes.
What are your children's names?
Gerald Christian is my oldest son. Jerica Christian is my daughter, and Jaron Christian is my younger son.
Now, you said earlier that your eldest son, he would play with Erice, is that right?
Yes, they played basketball and football and, run around in the neighborhood together. All of my children knew Erice. They were real close, but Gerald was closer to Erice's age.
And was Gerald an athlete?
Yes, he played football and basketball.
And what's he doing now?
He just got drafted this year. He plays for the Arizona Cardinals.
So he's in the NFL?
NFL, yes.
So would you say Erice and your son, I'm sorry, what was his first name?
Gerald.
That Erice and Gerald were close friends when they were in elementary school or younger?
Yes. There's a few years age difference. Erice is a few years older than Gerald, but they all played together in the neighborhood.
What happened once the boys went to high school?
Gerald went to a different school, a magnet school, which is out of our
school district, and Erice continued to go to Jupiter High School.
Why did Gerald go to the magnet school?
It was for the football program.
And did that keep him pretty busy?
Kept him very busy, so, yes.
And so did the boys tend to drift apart at that age?
They did.
You told us earlier you know Erice's mother,
Yes, I do.
Charmaine?
Charmaine Tisdale, yes.
And you said earlier that you interacted with Charmaine and Erice when he was younger?
We would have community cleanups and barbecues and things. We were very active in the community.
Now, were you active with the Community Development Corporation?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury what that is?
The Community Development Corporation in our neighborhood was building homes, pretty much building up the community, kind of like low-income homes or first-time home ownership program is what it was, to qualify people to have their first-time homes in that neighborhood.
So is this a low-income community?
Yes, pretty much.
Now, when you knew Erice, what type of boy was he?
Erice was very respectful, straight-A student, very mannerable, a nice young man.
Now, were there some things happening in the community that had you concerned?
Some drug activities and, it's few little things that happen in several communities, but yes.
Did you know Googie?
Googie, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell us what happened to Googie?
He got shot or tased by an officer or something on one of the streets in our neighborhood.
So he was shot by the police?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury, what happened to your youngest son when he was in 8th grade?
My youngest son, I noticed he started to hang around with some young men in the community.
Why don't we have y'all approach just real quickly, please?
It's okay.
Can you tell the jury, please, what happened when your son was in 8th grade?
My youngest son? I noticed my youngest son started hanging out, doing little small things like shooting people's mailboxes, and I saw him and one of his friends with some of the guys in the neighborhood that I knew was doing some criminal activities. And I was just concerned for him, and his father lived in Ocala, Florida, so I decided to send him to his father because I did not want him to get, I guess what I would say, lost to the streets or get caught up into activities that I did not approve of. Because, yes, I just wanted him to, stay on the right track, because he also was playing basketball and doing things in school, and I was just concerned for him.
And was that a difficult thing for you to do?
It was. As a mother, it was difficult, but I felt like that was the best thing for him.
What is Tomorrow's Seed Incorporated?
Tomorrow's Seed Incorporated is a nonprofit organization that I started in 2013, and is to reach the adolescent age male population to prevent them from going down the path of living a life of crime.
Now, did this exist when Erice was in the neighborhood?
No, it did not.
Is the focus what is the focus of this group? What are some of the things, the objectives that you...
Well, I believe in, like, the male population, they need role models or mentors, I think at the adolescent age, if they're not steered in the right direction or have the proper guidance in the household, that I think that they could tend to go down the wrong path. So that was where my heart was when I decided to start the organization.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Eisenhower?
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, there's just one.
Can I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to take you down memory lane for a second here, Ms. Brown, okay?
Yes,
Okay. Can you look at this picture and tell me if you recognize it?
of course I do.
Can you tell me who's in the picture?
That's my son Gerald. This is Eriese. That's the commissioner, and they were fighting to have a pier built in Juno Beach. So the Eriese and Gerald and some of the other young people went with the commissioner to try to get the Juno Beach pier built.
Thank you. And your son would be the second from the right,
Yes,
and
that's
Eriese
Gerald.
would be the one that's in front of the commissioner?
Commissioner, yes, that's Eriese.
We would move Defense Exhibit 15 into evidence.
Does the state have any objection?
No objection.
Without objection, be admitted as defense 15 in evidence. Let them mark it.
Judge, may I publish?
Yes, ma'am. Folks, will publish this photograph here. Take a look at it. Pass it down to your right. You'll be able to look at it when you're tired to deliberate.
Thank you.
Yes.
State have any questions?
Ma'am, the defendant had a loving, supportive relationship with his mother, right?
Yes, he did.
And he seemed to be a pretty good kid when you knew him.
Yes,
And that was 15 years ago?
probably about.
Yes, ma'am. And this situation with your son that you were talking about, with your youngest son, how many years ago would that have been?
Maybe about six or seven, about.
Long after the defendant had moved out of the neighborhood, right?
Yes.
No other questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Redirect from the defense.
Just briefly, Judge. Ms. Brown, problems that you've been combating in Limestone Creek community, are these problems that have been around for a long time?
Yes, in the community, yes.
Is there anything else?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, very much. You can step down.
Okay.
Watch your step, please. You will call your next witness, please.
Judge, may we approach?
with us just a minute, please, okay? Who would you like to call next? I'm sorry?
Carson.
Thank you, Mr. Carson, for bearing with us. Just watch those wires there. He'll come right up here. She'll place you under oath, sir.
Do you swear upon the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Step right over there. Watch, step in for me, please.
Hello.
How you doing?
You're going to have to speak up a little, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and state your first and last name.
My name is Carson. Last name is spelled C-A-R-S-O-N.
And how old are you?
28.
And what is your relationship to Eriese?
It's my cousin.
First cousin, fifth cousin?
My second cousin.
Second cousin. Who was your parents?
My father was Rajan Irvin. My mother's name is Trina Carson.
Okay. And Rajan, your dad was the one that was shot and killed in West Palm Beach?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How old were you when your dad died? Got shot?
I was 17.
Okay. Where were you living at that time?
I was living in New Jersey.
Okay. When did you go to live in New Jersey?
What was that?
How long did you live in New Jersey?
I was born and raised in New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey until I was 18.
Okay. So, did you live with your mom or your dad?
I lived with my mother.
Okay. And did your mom remarry?
She remarried after I was 20. I think I was 21 when she remarried.
Okay. And up in New Jersey, did you have family up there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have siblings?
Yes.
How many?
I have one brother and one sister in New Jersey.
And they all live in the same household?
Yes.
Okay. And when did your mom and dad stop being together?
Before I was born, I believe in college.
Okay. So, Rajan, was he living with your mom when
No.
she had you?
No.
So they had broken up when...
Yes.
Okay. So he was never a father figure to you?
He was always a father figure, he just wasn't in the house.
Okay. So did you come down here to Florida to visit your dad?
Yes.
And for extended visits or just holidays?
Extended visits and holidays.
Okay. Come on, summers?
Summers, Christmas, different holidays, I would be down here.
Okay. And did you have a relationship with Eriese over those years?
Yes.
Okay. Did you become close with Eriese?
Yes.
Did that relationship develop more when you moved to Florida at 18?
Yes.
Okay. Did you live in the same household with Eriese at some point?
Yes.
And how long did you live in the same household?
Maybe a year, maybe a little bit more than a year.
Okay. Did you graduate?
High school?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And what would you describe Erice's personality like?
Funny, loving, goofy character.
Okay. And what kind of goals or desires or dreams did he talk to you about?
He just wanted to be successful. He wanted to be a successful person, hold his own.
Okay. Was there any field that he wanted to go in that he shared with you?
Yeah, he wanted to be in the music industry.
Okay. Were you around him when he was going to the CAD program?
I came down, I believe, at like the ending of that schooling.
Okay. And what kind of schooling is that?
He went to Lincoln Tech,
To get what kind of degree?
computer-aided drafting and design, associate's degree.
And was that something you were interested in at the time too?
Yes,
And did you go to schooling for that?
I did. I didn't go to Lincoln Tech, but I went to CAD Centers of Florida.
Okay. Is it the same type of computer drafting though?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the difference between your, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but your artistic ability and Erice's artistic ability?
His artistic ability was a little bit more advanced than mine.
Okay. What kind of things did you notice that he did that you weren't excelling in?
He taught me a lot of the things that I know about CAD. He showed me quick ways to get through it. He showed me codes and building specifications and all of that type of stuff.
Okay, can you go a little bit further and explain to us, because I still kind of don't understand what CAD is.
Well, if you're making a blueprint, instead of drawing it, you could do it on a computer now.
Okay, so it's basically drawing on a computer.
Yes, yes.
And you're saying that he would help you with that.
Yes.
And did you end up going and finding a job that you liked and maintained?
Yes. It wasn't in a CAD field, but I found a job as an addiction counselor, working with teenagers.
Okay. And how long, is that where you work now?
Yes.
How long have you worked there?
It'll be 8 years, February 20th.
Okay, so pretty much since you've been 20.
Yes.
Okay. And the time that you and Erice were close when you were young adults, 18 on, did you hang out together?
Yes.
And were there any incidences that you came across with Erice that involved law enforcement?
Yes.
Any of them have a negative effect on you and Erice?
Yes.
Did you share your thoughts with each other as far as those incidents?
Yes.
Can you tell us about those incidents?
One instance, we were on our way to a Walmart, and I had dropped my phone in the car. Erice was driving. I was a passenger. I had dropped my phone, and we stopped the car so I could look for it. I never found the phone, so I had just got back in the car and proceeded on to Walmart. While we were on our way, it was a police officer sitting in the neighborhood. A police officer seen me looking for the phone, seen me get back in the car. When I got back in the car, he got behind us and pulled us over and said that we were speeding in a residential neighborhood. While before the cop even got a chance to tell us what he pulled us over for, Erice was on the phone with one of my cousins. So the police officer came to the window, license, registration, and before I guess Erice wasn't moving fast enough, so the police officer grabbed him by his shoulders and pulled him out of the window of his car.
Okay, and you were present for that?
Yes.
Were there any other incidences you were present for that you experienced negative treatment?
I have several incidents where I was by myself being treated foul by the police.
In Florida?
Yes.
Okay, can you share those incidents? Are these incidences that you shared with Erice as far as the way you were treated?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and share.
On one instance, I was driving, going to my grandmother's house. There was a police officer behind me, and I pulled into the driveway before he could pull the lights on. I pulled in the driveway, I get out the car, he's talking to me. He's talking all kinds, he calling me bitches, calling me lowlifes, all kind of stuff. And in the middle of him talking to me like this, my grandmother opens the door, and she's standing right there. And she hears it.
Okay. And what were you being pulled over for?
I never was pulled over. He never got a chance to pull me over.
Okay, so you're saying when your grandmother walked out the door, it stopped the behavior?
Yes, he pulled off immediately.
And who is your grandmother?
Noretta Jenkins.
Okay. All right, were you involved with the sneaker incident?
Yes.
Can you tell us what happened with the sneaker incident? Because that was you and Erice were both.
Yes.
Go ahead and explain the incident.
Somebody had called us saying that they wanted to purchase some shoes. We went to go meet up with them. While we're meeting up with them, I believe it was about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So I was sitting in the passenger seat. Erice got out of the car to go deal with the person, whoever he was dealing with. And in the back of the car, it was two people. It was Erice and, there was three people, Erice and two other people that he was dealing with, people that came to look for the shoes. So one guy comes running past the car window saying, run, he's got a gun, he's got a gun. So I get out of the car, go to the back to see what's going on. Erice is tussling with this fellow with a gun. So I had to jump in the fight and beat the guy off of him. We took off running down the street.
Okay, and would you say that you were the one that was the brawn in that?
Yes.
That you took control of the issue with the guys that were roughing Erice up?
Yes.
Okay. And how old were the two of you at that time?
I say maybe 22, 23.
Okay. So you're young adults?
Yes.
Okay, you're actually working?
Yes.
Okay. Was Erice known to have jobs?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just talk a little bit about the sneaker. Where did you get the idea to sell sneakers out of the car? And what was it? Was it a business that you and Erice did on the side? What was, we don't
It's a business that my family's been in for years. My father used to sell clothes. My aunt still sells clothes. And we just piggybacked off of that, selling clothes and shoes.
Okay, so it's something that the family's on.
Yes.
Okay, so that wasn't just a one-time deal selling sneakers. You guys did that often.
Yeah, that wasn't a one-time deal, no.
Okay, and somebody calling on the phone to buy sneakers and you guys meeting them in any location wasn't
No, that wasn't unusual.
Okay. Was at that time when you had the incident with the gun with them, what did that do for you and Erice as far as your fears in the world and society, as far as what you did to protect yourselves?
Oh, yes. We armed ourselves. We had to protect ourselves.
Was it that incident that had that defining factor for you?
That was one of the incidents.
Okay. Was there another incident that kind of added to that?
Well, what made me want to protect myself is being the fact that I have a father that was killed by gunshot, so
okay.
I don't want the same fate.
Was it because you came to Florida?
Yes.
Where your father was shot? That made you feel like you needed to protect yourself?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Just make sure you say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you had a gun at that point?
Yes.
Okay. And you were able to carry a gun, or did you have a...
It wasn't a gun that I carried. It was a shotgun.
Okay. And it was solely for what?
Protection.
Okay. Now, at this point, did you know if Erice was a convicted felon at that point?
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't on that incident?
Yeah.
Okay, but there became a time where, Erice became a convicted felon, right?
Yes.
Okay. And tell us, in your thoughts, why somebody living in West Palm Beach in your area, what your thoughts were about having a gun, regardless of whether you're convicted or not.
There's people out there that want to kill you for the stupidest things, You might have somebody that might be looking at the car you drive or the jewelry you wear or the little bit of money they see you pull out of your pocket. And they might want to kill you for that. So you never know where it's coming from. You have to protect yourself.
Okay, and was there another incident on 95 that you were a part of, or is that the one where he was pulled? No, that was different.
I wasn't out.
There wasn't a 95 incident? Okay. Did you ever, on occasion, see Eriese act aggressive?
No.
Okay. How often did you see each other as young adults?
Every day.
Okay. Now, I noticed that you wear your hair in dreads.
Yes.
Is that a personal choice?
Yes.
Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you get a negative effect of having dreads?
All the time.
Okay. Tell us how your grandmother feels about your dreads.
She doesn't like it.
Okay. And what does she tell you about having dreads?
Every chance she gets, she's telling me to cut them because of the perception that people get when they see dreads.
Okay, but obviously you still don't take her advice and you wear dreads.
Yes.
And what is the reason for that?
Because it doesn't matter how people perceive you. It's all about who you are as a person. Dreads don't define the character, you know.
Okay. Now, some people might say that, you know, Eriese wore dreads as well.
Yes.
Up until the incident. What was his love in life? What was his passion for the music thing?
Yes, he was passionate about music.
Part of that with him at all?
Yes, I was somewhat.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Tell us, what did you do in reference to the music industry?
I made a few beats.
You made beats?
Yes.
Okay, now what are beats?
Instrumentals, the music that's played behind the lyrics.
Okay, and the lyrics, was it rap music?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you know, some people find rap music offensive.
Yes.
You know, some people think country music is offensive, right?
Yes.
Were you around Eriese when he was making, I don't know, mixes or CDs? I don't know what they call them.
Yes.
Okay. Did he have a nickname?
What was that?
Did he have a nickname that he would go by in the music industry?
Oh, Prince Guru.
Okay, and what was the reason for Prince Guru in the music industry?
Because he felt like we were all kings and queens.
Okay. Now, were you part of his, I don't know, group for the mixing?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, but you just supplied some beats?
Yes.
Okay. Did they ever do an album or release?
I believe so. I'm not sure though.
Okay. Can I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll show you a few pictures. I don't know if you identify any of them. You recognize that picture?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you recognize that picture?
I'm in the picture, and two of my cousins are in the picture.
Okay, and that's Defense Exhibit 18. And what are your cousins' names?
Eriese Tisdale and Lauren Tyree.
And you are?
Ahmad Carson.
And where are you located in the picture?
To the far right.
Patting your cousin's head?
Yes.
Okay. So you another picture. How old do you think you guys were in that picture?
Maybe 6, maybe 7.
Okay. You recognize that picture?
Yes, I do.
And who's in that picture?
Eriese and my father.
Okay. And do you remember where that was?
I'm not sure whose house it is. It looks like it could be my grandmother's house, but it could also be my aunt's house.
Okay. And what's going on in the picture? What does it look like?
It looks like it could be a holiday or something.
Okay. And can you tell pretty much about how old Eriese was in that picture?
Eriese maybe was about 13.
Okay. So it was obviously well before your dad got shot. He was 13, 14, and you guys were 17 when your dad died, right? Okay. Do you recognize that person?
Yes.
I'm sorry, that last picture was Defense Exhibit 19. And who's in that picture?
That's Eriese Tisdale.
Okay, and about how old was he in that picture?
I say 23, 24.
Okay. Close to the incident time?
Yes.
And that's Defense Exhibit 16.
recognize that?
Yes.
And who's that?
Eriese Tisdale.
And about how old do you think he is in that picture?
I say maybe 23, 24.
Okay. And this defense exhibit 20, and then this picture here.
Eriese Tisdale.
And what does it appear that he's doing in that picture?
Looks like a photo shoot.
Okay, photo shoot for what?
An album release.
Okay. Do you remember the name of the album that he wanted to release?
Team J-Town.
Team J-Town?
Yes.
That's defense exhibit 17. Was there any significance to that name?
It was just a group from Jupiter.
So Jupiter team, J-Town?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, at this time, defense going to move to admit these into evidence?
State have any objection?
No objection.
Admitted as state, defense exhibit 17 and 18 in evidence.
Did Eriese share with you his concerns about how he got treated by law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay. Was it a topic of conversation for you as young adults?
Yes.
Now, given the fact that, one, you're a black male, same age as Eriese, two, you also wear dreads,
Yeah.
lived in West Palm, kind of hung out with him,
Yes.
got a full-time job.
Yes.
Where is it that you were raised as a child?
I was raised in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Okay. With your mom?
Yes.
Was there a father figure in your house?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. What kind of positive influences did you have in your home?
I had a very strict, strong mother.
And any type of neglect or abuse in your home?
No.
Okay. And when you chose to come down to Florida, what was the reason for that?
Just needed a change. I had got out of college, didn't want to go back to New Jersey, so I came to Florida.
Okay. Would you consider your upbringing to be the mirror image of Eriese Tisdale's upbringing?
Not exactly, no.
Okay. And the fact that you found a job and have been able to maintain that job, do you think that that's the reason why you didn't get drift off and get yourself in trouble? Or?
I feel like I got lucky when I found a job.
And you stayed with that job?
Yes.
Do you still feel that there's that stereotype that you get out there?
For having dreads?
Yes.
Every day.
Every day. And now there was a time when you and Eriese would smoke marijuana together as young adults, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now you never got in any trouble?
No.
Okay. Is that by coincidence? Could you have easily maybe got yourself pulled over one day?
Very easily I could have been in trouble. Very easily.
Okay. So you look at this whole experience as you were one of the lucky ones?
Yes.
Oh, I'd like to publish the pictures, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Folks will publish you those two photographs that were just submitted. Take a few minutes, take a look at them.
Did you say a few? 16 through 20.
I beg your pardon, 16 through 21 will be admitted as defense exhibits.
Okay.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mr. Eisenhower or Mr. Bagadol?
Thanks, Judge. Mr. Carson, just to clarify a couple things, your father was murdered, that's right?
Yes.
Okay, and that was by, I guess, a jealous
Ex-husband.
Ex-husband of your father's
Yes.
girlfriend at the time.
Yes.
And that person was prosecuted and was convicted of murder.
Yes.
Also, you and the defendant had spoken about the fact that he was a convicted felon and that he shouldn't be possessing a firearm, right?
It's possible, yes.
And you, and as you said, I think on direct, the decision that he made would be to carry a gun for protection, regardless of the consequences that he was facing. Serious prison time if he got caught with it, right?
Yes.
Okay, and he knew that. I think you said, that was not a mystery. That everyone knows that. If you're a convicted felon and get caught with a gun, you're doing serious prison time.
Yes.
No other questions, thanks.
Can you redirect Ms. Selden? Thank you, Mr. Carson. You step down. Watch your step, please. Wish to call another witness? Yes, ma'am. Folks, thank you all for your attention. We'll stop for today. If I can have you all come back at 8:45 a.m. to the jury assembly room tomorrow. The jury's outside the courtroom now. Mr. Bagadol, y'all aren't requesting Dr. Landrum to examine Mr.
We are not.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. We'll see y'all at 8:45 a.m. tomorrow. Please, we'll go off the record.